on the Texas A&M Sports Network. From Learfield, live from Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue on Harvey Road in College Station. Welcome to the Joni Taylor Coaches Show, presented by Bud Light. It's for the fans. And by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Visit Rudy's.com to find real Texas barbecue near you. Now, the Joni Taylor Coaches Show.
Howdy, Ags, and welcome to Rudy's Barbecue on Harvey Road. It is the Joni Taylor Show, as you know, and this is going to be a good one because the Aggies coming off a Sunday win at Reed Arena over the Georgia Bulldogs, 75-73. Before we talk about the game, Coach, get in out of the cold tonight. The weather has turned on us here.
Man, it has this entire week. I have to actually check the Weather Channel when I wake up in the morning to figure out what I need to put on.
And then after lunch, it's going to change, and it's back and forth. This thing is, but a nice cold night here in College Station. But we'll warm up to a win on Sunday over the Georgia Bulldogs. Like I said, 75-73, a great game for the Aggies. Good to get a few whoops from the crowd. We encourage that all evening. But
great crowd.
Yeah.
Always.
Take us through it. Nice to get in the win column. And your team, as we said before we came on the air, your team has earned to get into the win column in SEC play.
They have. We were really close. We all knew it was coming. I didn't know when, but we were really, 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 really close. And so we just kept saying, hey, keep fighting the good fight. Keep trusting the process. It's going to happen. We're getting better. You could see it game by game. Every practice, you could tell we were getting better. We needed to learn how to win. And so, after the Alabama game, maybe before the Alabama game, I don't remember, but we had a conversation with our team, and I said, tell me what we've learned from losing, right? Because you learn a lot when you lose, and the only way to know how to win is to go through it, and you're going to lose some games. And so we talked about what we've learned through this process, and you heard words like resiliency and toughness and knowledge, the knowledge we've learned, tough game situations. And we just said all those things are preparing us to win. But you don't just win. You got to know how to win. That's something you figure out. And so you could tell we were on our way, and then we get to Sunday and had 2 good practices. I thought we prepared really well on Friday and Saturday. Georgia runs a real funky 3-2 zone, and so we put in an entire new offense. Credit Chelsea Newton. It was her scout. She spent some time putting on a new offense to attack their 3-2 zone, and had 2 really focused days of practice. And then we got to shoot around on Sunday, and after shoot around we found out that we were going to have 2 more players available, so that gave us 9 instead of 7. It was the first time we had that in a long time, but we were really happy about that.
Nice to add to the score box.
And so we went out and played the game, and it was so much fun. It was just, we've had so much fun in this entire process, but to see them be rewarded with the win. We've talked so much about what does success look like when it doesn't result in a win. To be able to talk about what success looks like when you do get a win, it was really, really good.
And I wanted to get to the win. I blew right through it. I'm Will Johnson, and I'm filling in for Steve Miller. And Steve is out tonight. Can't believe he'd miss after on Sunday. Come on, man.
He called the game so well. He's just worn himself out. He needs to rest a little bit.
But that's part of this week, though. You've been playing 7. They've been going at it so hard and playing so tough. Maybe the right time to get that Thursday break, not play, and then you'll go to Nashville on Sunday to resume.
We were off yesterday. We saw him for the first time today. We watched some film on our game Sunday to talk about things we did well, things we could have done better. And then, just spend today working on ourselves. We'll do the same thing tomorrow. It's been a long time since we've been able to just focus on us. Because we've only had 7, we don't want to keep them on their feet for a long time, so practices are much shorter. So those practices have been literally scouting report driven. This is what we need to do on offense. This is what we need to do on defense. Okay, get off your feet. Then you come in the next day. This is what you need to do on offense. Let's practice this on defense. Get off your feet. And so there's slippage when you are not allowed, you don't have the time, or because of our lack of number, we haven't been able to work on some things offensively for us. And we don't need any slippage. We're already just trying to fight for our lives and figure things out. So it was really nice today to just practice and work on us without worrying about preparing for an opponent. We'll practice again tomorrow. We'll give them Thursday off, and then we'll bear down on Friday, Saturday to prepare for a feisty Vanderbilt team who's in a very similar situation to us. They've had a ton of injuries. They haven't won a game yet, but they are close. They are really, 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 really close. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also this game with Georgia, it was tied right around 2 minutes to go. It was tied about a minute and a half to go. You win by 2. when you're growing with your program, it is almost a good thing to go through late game situations, how to handle it, come out on top.
We've been in a ton of those. You think about the Florida game, and I think Mississippi State, it was close. Tennessee, 4 minutes left. It's a 6-point game, and we just have had some compounding mistakes. So our conversation has been like, how do we eliminate those compounding mistakes? And we made a few Sunday. We tried to give it away, We made a few Sunday as well, but we had the resiliency to overcome it and not make those same mistakes twice. And our players also stayed composed, and they stepped up and made big plays. I mean, when you're getting pressed for 40 minutes straight, that is mentally fatiguing. It just wears you down. And, Mackenzie and KK were exhausted, but that's where having Janiah as a third guard to kind of help them a little bit, relieved them some. But we were able to just buckle down, and those, we saved our timeouts. We knew we were going to need them, and we were able to get everybody settled, and they were composed. And it was just a different look of confidence they had in their eyes that you didn't see 3 games ago or 4 games ago as they were learning how to prepare for that.
And tonight, Janiah Barker is going to come on the show, and she is fresh off a 24-point game on Sunday. That deserves a whoop, a few of them, and a nice hand. She's the SEC Freshman of the Week. Yeah. She is the National Freshman of the Week, according to the U.S. Basketball Writers Association. And we were talking before the show, and I was talking to Brandon, your media relations director, and to not know quite sure you're in the lineup Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And then to go out and go 10 of 11 from the floor and pour in 24 points, that's a story in itself. Right there for Janiah Barker.
She's someone who just trusts. You can go all the way back from the phone call when I told her I wasn't going to be at Georgia anymore and I was coming here, and she said, well, I'm going wherever you go. The word I think about with Janiah is just trust. She trusts me. She trusts our staff. She trusts our doctors, our trainers, our strength and conditioning coach. She trusts her teammates. And when we found out we literally at 11:30 on Sunday, we've had shoot around. We're having pregame meal. And she's in my office, and we find out that she literally just texted the doctor and was like, listen, can I play? And she's like, I'm not going to go out and force it. I'm going to go out, and I'm just going to try to run the floor and rebound and do what I can to help. But, a lot of credit goes to her. Yes, she kept herself in shape. From the moment she had her injury, she never got down on herself. She's never really been seriously hurt before. She never got down. She couldn't shoot with her right hand for a long time. Then it was left hand. It was left hand layups, left hand free throws, left hand three-pointers. And then when she could kind of do some things with her right hand, it became dribbling. She couldn't shoot it yet, so she dribbled. I told her from the very beginning, there is nothing wrong with your legs, so make sure you continue to run and stay in shape. And to her credit, she did that. And then as she was able to kind of start moving her wrist some, she just started working on her shot. But every day she showed up. She never took a day off, even when she wasn't in there getting reps. And for her to know our offense and I thought she was a much more composed player when she came back Sunday than she had been. I feel like, and she can speak for herself when she comes up here, but I feel like, in November she put some unfair pressure on herself to feel like she had to carry the team. And I think this growth spurt was good for all of us. It was good for us to play without her. It was good for her to watch us grow and develop and to figure out, and see some of her teammates catch up a little bit. And so it was really fun to watch her go out there Sunday and do what she did.
And you mentioned KK Green out there for 38 minutes.
Yeah.
Not just the 11 points. I mean, it's all the other columns in the box score that she provides. 5 assists, a couple of steals, 3 rebounds. I mean, there's so much she's doing in a high-quality amount of minutes.
Yeah, as a point guard, and you're getting pressured the entire time. And listen, it's a lot of thinking that goes on. You have to know what it is we're doing offensively, but we also are guarding this ball screen one way, and then if it comes this way, we're guarding it a different way. And then if they do this, we want you to switch this out. There's a lot of meticulous things that we are asking them to do. So, again, it is draining. It is mentally draining, especially when you have that type of responsibility. But KK is somebody who just continues to get better every single game. She's learning again, when it's a good shot for her versus her teammates. That pull-up jumper is just getting more efficient every single time she takes it off ball screens. And so really happy and proud for her of how she's leading this team right now.
And 58% from the floor in the Sunday win.
Mm-hmm.
Season high as far as the shooting percentage, 50% from the free throw line. There's so much that goes into high percentage shooting. It's not just the stroke and the follow through. You got to do a lot of things to get those high quality shots.
I thought Patty was a really good passer for us on Sunday. She's someone who has, carried us a lot offensively with the absence of some of our players that have been hurt. And she realized very quickly, we told her on Friday when we got to practice, we're like, in our press, we're going to put you where we would normally put a guard because you're tall, you can see over it, and we think you can facilitate pretty well. And she accepted that role and had 11 assists on Sunday. It was incredible watching her pass the ball, to her teammates and really be excited about doing that. And so she's really become selfless and has been someone who has taken on whatever role it is we've given her. But in terms of how we shot it, we shot 8 for 16 from 3. I don't know when's the last time we made 8 threes in the game. But, again, when you add Janiah and Janiah on the floor, it stretches things out because there's so much attention on them. Now the floor just automatically opens up, and so it gives KK more time to get her shot off. It gives Mackenzie more time to get her shot off. Maya Petticore had huge plays for us offensively, so it doesn't put so much pressure on other players when the defense can they can't just pack it in the paint anymore.
Mm-hmm. And I wanted to go back to Aaliyah Patty, who you mentioned had the 11 assists. For me, just me personally, I look at the box score of a college game now, and I guess it's been about 4 or 5 years. Now you see the plus-minus.
Yes.
I've always associated that more with the pro game, WNBA, NBA. I've heard about it more there. But now it's a deal in college. Aaliyah was +9 for the Georgia game. That would lead your team. How important is that column in the box score to a coach? If you're on the floor, you're winning by 9, when Aaliyah is on the floor, and her minutes is essentially what it says.
So what Will's talking about is on every stat sheet at the very end, it's got a plus or minus by your name. And to just make it really simple, if you got a plus by your name, that means that we're doing better when you're on the floor. And if you got a minus by your name, it means we're not doing good things when you're on the floor. Now, that can change. You can have a minus and it can get to a plus, or you can have a plus and it can go to a minus. So it changes. But, it's pretty telling and it's pretty accurate. And so we use that measurement. We're like, this person is -10 right now. And so, a lot of times players want to know, well, what did I do? Like, I didn't do anything wrong. And we're like, yeah, we're kind of looking at this, a lot of things. And where we really, really use the plus-minus chart for us is certain people don't play well together. And so sometimes it's not even about what you necessarily did, but the two of you in together right now, that we have enough stats that tell us that outcome is not good for us. And so because this person is playing well, you're going to sit right here because the two of you together just don't play well. And it's not it's not always directly what did I do. It's about the whole. It's about the whole.
Yeah, I always thought it was interesting. I don't know if it was introduced to the college game a few years back. I just maybe noticed it a little more in the college game a few years back. But ultimately, with Sunday, before we go to break, I know you played with 9 on Sunday, but you've been playing with 7 for so long. Just the joy and the reward for those 7 that had given you so much for so long. Because even during the rough stretch, you mentioned you're proud of those 7 and the way they go out each night.
I told him, obviously, there was a lot of questions about Janiah on Sunday, and there should have been, right? She's an incredible player. She's very special, and she had a hell of a game on Sunday. But, one of the questions I got asked was what prepared us for today? And the question was kind of Janiah being on the floor. And I'm like, yeah, but what prepared us for today was a 7 that took us through those 6 losses. Like, for them to fight the way they did, they never complained. They got better. They took all the reps. They trusted us. They trusted the process. I'm so, so happy for them and proud of them because it's hard. That is hard, and it's draining. And, our injured players did an incredible job of supporting them and cheering them on. You guys saw it. Their energy on the bench is just fun to watch. But you still can't help if you're the one out there thinking, okay, I'm the one out here. Like, you're not out here taking all these reps. And so for them to – feel the taste of victory. I was just really, really proud for them and just can't say enough how much those 7 have trusted us and believed during this time.
All right, we're off and running here at Rudy's, and basketball and barbecue lovers know the perfect brisket needs the right wood. Rudy's smokes all their meats using their delicious signature rubs and 100% oak-fired pits. Get your real Texas barbecue fix today at Rudy's or on the web at rudys.com. When we come back, Janiah Barker joins us on the Joni Taylor Show right here from Learfield. Welcome back to Rudy's Barbecue right here on Harvey Road in College Station on Sunday. Texas A&M 75 and Georgia 73. And in that game, Janiah Barker, 24 points, 10 of 11 from the floor. We have with us right here on set the SEC Freshman of the Week and the National Freshman of the Week, according to the U.S. Basketball Writers Association. You got to like that hand, is it?
Thank you, guys. That was great. Yeah.
Well-deserved, well-earned. But we were just talking to Coach Taylor about it. Kind of take me through the morning of the game. You were cleared. Maybe when you woke up, you weren't quite sure you were playing.
I had no clue, actually. I knew the day before that we had practice, and also going in a shoot-around, I just knew, just to go in a shoot-around and just, give my teammates what I can. I had my injury reserved outfit ready. What the team was wearing on the bench, I had it ready. I had no clue. Genuinely, I was like Stacy, our trainer. I was like, Stacy, let me hit the doc up. Let me text the doc. Let me see what she says. She said, okay. And I took her phone and texted doc. She said, all right, you can go out there as long as you don't fall on your hand. And I was like, all right, I got you.
Stay up. Do not hit the floor, huh?
Yeah. And then I went into Coach Joni's office, and I was like, John, she was like, don't play with me. And I was like, nah, I can play. I mean, me and her literally was jumping up and down together.
That's great. Yeah. Well, I mean, I bet you were after the game as well. But also, when you're out with injury, you come back. Coach Taylor mentioned, you kind of just want to get into the flow of the game again. But almost when do you realize, you're beyond the flow of the game. You're hot going 10 of 11 from the floor.
Honestly, like I said, like Coach Joni said, I went out there and just, try to do whatever I could for the team. I came out, going straight to the basket. One of my first shots was going straight to the basket. But honestly, I just felt like I was just back out there where I needed to be. I was genuinely locked in. It was Georgia. We had to beat Georgia. So I was locked in for that game. Mm-hmm. I knew I had to do whatever for my teammates I would do.
Mm-hmm. And going back to the time you're out of the lineup, you're a competitor.
Yes, sir.
That's what you guys want to do. You want to go out, you want to compete, you want to play. Didn't get to do that for a while. Mm-hmm. How did you handle it? What's the best way to handle when you are a competitor, but during those couple of months, you don't get to go out and compete?
Honestly, it was eating me alive.
I bet.
Honestly, it was eating me alive. It was a lot of games where I was just like, dang, I wish I could play because I just know I can go out there and help my teammates. But truthfully, I would say, just trusting in God, knowing this is what He planned for me. This is what my path is. So I'm just going to trust Him and believe in Him. And whatever He says this is right now, that's what I'm going to go through. And that's what I went through. And I just kept my head down and just be positive as possible and just came in every day and just continue to work in the weight room or work with Stacy and just came in every day and just same thing over and over again just to get ready back to where I was at. And that's what it was.
Well, Coach, is that in some ways kind of the competitor you want? Yes, she has to handle things the right way to get back to the floor, but you almost want it eating her alive that she can't play.
No, absolutely. If it doesn't bother you, then it means you don't care about it enough, right? And we need people who are hungry and who want to be out there at the same time. Trusting the process is important, and this is life, right? So we've got to learn how to handle things. It's not all sunshine and rainbows like we tell them all the time, but just getting through to the other side, and how do you do that, and what's the lesson in it? And so I think for Janiah, it tested her patience. I think it made her sit and be still, and that's something that she needs to do as well, is just be still and listen and watch with a different eye. I think she learned a lot, from watching her teammates, some of the mistakes they were making, the growth that they were making. I would go to her, and I remember the first game or two that she and Janae were out, and something happened in the game, and I turned around and I started fussing at them on the bench, and they're like, we didn't do it. Why are you yelling at us? I'm like, because you can't do it when you go back out there. You do the same thing too. And so, we constantly were coaching them and yelling at them as if they were the ones making the play, because I knew how impactful that, our players are going to be when they return. And so to their credit, the change they made, and it's hard to change when you're not getting a chance to do it, but they were ready to come in, and I think it's because they trusted the process, but they also took that time to grow mentally as well.
Mm-hmm. And during that time, you have to be somewhat of a cheerleader, an encourager. I don't know, for me, it didn't seem that hard for you. You seem to have a smile on your face wherever you go, on the floor, outside a read. Where does the smile come from?
Honestly, it's when I talk to people about this program and this coaching staff, it's just honestly a big family reunion for me every day. I genuinely love these people that I'm around every day, and it's a genuine connection with each and every person on my staff. It's not one person on the staff where I'm like, I don't like them. It's a genuine connection with everybody. So just being in that atmosphere all the time, and my teammates, and just wanting to see them be happy and seeing them do good just genuinely makes me happy. So when they do good, I just want them to know, like, I'm so proud of you. And on the bench, that's fun. Like, that'd be fun. Like, of course I want to play, but cheering is very, very fun.
Yeah. And speaking of pride, just the tough stretch where only 7 were playing due to a lot of injury. How proud are you of those teammates?
I am so proud of them. And it's a couple of games where, you know, it's not things you can really say to them because I'm not out there playing. I don't know what to say. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know how you're feeling. So I can't tell you certain things. So most of the time, the words that I'm saying are just words of encouragement because I'm not out there dying. Y'all playing 40 minutes straight, game after game, like busting y'all tails. I am proud of you guys. Y'all are trying your hardest. Like, so I'm genuinely proud of my teammates, and I hope they know that, and I hope I told them enough in that time. But super proud of them, and I know this win, like, feel like it finally paid off.
On the court or off the court, just in general, the fall semester on into January. College life at A&M. How's it treating you? Adjustment going well? I mean, any adjustment in life right there to become a freshman in college.
Yeah, honestly, I would, probably like the hardest thing would be becoming a high school to freshman in college. I would say it's just like, living on your own and just finally being an adult. But honestly, I went to a boarding school, so like I've been washing my clothes and folding my clothes and cleaning my room since like for a long, long time. So I would say the hardest part would just probably be like just the workload and the school and trying to, manage that together. But like I said, we have a ton of help with, Sam Marie Rutherford and Rebecca. So it's just easy. It's hard, but it's easy because you have so much help.
And, Coach, we always hear time management, such a part of it. And that's almost, you've got to teach X's and O's. You've got to teach culture of the program. But as a head coach, I mean, you deal with that too. You've got to almost put out the blueprint on how to live life in college for these young ladies.
Well, that's the whole point. It's like basketball teaches us so many things, right? But basketball can't be our end game. So that's why beyond basketball is our focus point. And we talk about who you are one place is who you are everywhere. And there's consequences for being late and not being somewhere on time. And I do want to brag on her. I mean, you talk about just the transition. She had a 3.6 GPA this past semester, so let's give her a hand for that. That's what I'm really, really proud of. But yeah, it's all encompassing because one day the ball's going to stop bouncing, and shame on us if we have not prepared them for that. That is what I'm on their tail about, more so than anything.
When the ball does stop bouncing one day, what do you want to take it to? Obviously, you hope there's a career in basketball, and you want to do that. But when it does one day, what's after basketball?
So right now, my major is journalism. They don't have broadcasting here, but it was going to be journalism broadcasting. I wanted to be like, how Candace Parker's out there with, Shaq and Charles Barkley and, just out there having fun, but still in the sports field and just enjoying her craft and just, I want to do that. I just want to have fun and enjoy my job. But basketball, I hope the ball bounced for a long time.
That's right. No, we understand that. Well,
yes, sir.
Journalism was my major here, so,
really?
So stop by or hang for the rest of the show if you want. I mean, you take the headset to get some good experience there. But now you guys take it to Nashville, fresh off the victory. You're getting back into things. You got back into it pretty well on Sunday. But for the team, where do you take it next coming off this nice victory last Sunday?
Whatever the coaches say do is what we're going to do.
There you go.
And honestly, someone asked me in the press conference was like, what's changed? Like, what was the game plan? What was different? Honestly, like, from day one to now, like, nothing has changed. These guys have came in every day and gave their all and coached their butt off since day one. And I just want to give a hats off to them for honestly doing that every day. Although the outcome has not been the outcome that we wanted, they still have continuously tried their hardest to do and everything they do, and I appreciate them for that. So whatever they say do, that's what we're going to go out there and do.
All right. Janiah Barker.
Thank you, guys.
The SEC Freshman of the Week, the National Freshman of the Week. Thanks for joining us right here at Rudy's.
Thank you, guys. Have fun.
And good luck on Sunday in Nashville against Vanderbilt. When we come back, assistant coach Katherine Graham is with us right up here on set. We're back to Rudy's with the Joni Taylor Radio Show in just a bit from Learfield. Good to have you back with us here at Rudy's Barbecue on Harvey Road in College Station. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance wants to give you a VIP Aggie basketball fan experience this year. Go to 12man.com/maroon contest and register. One winner and a guest will receive game tickets, hotel accommodations, autographed memorabilia, and more. Register today at 12thman.com/maroon contests. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, a proud partner of Texas A&M Athletics. So the Joni Taylor Show continues from Rudy's. Glad to be joined here on set by assistant coach Katherine Graham. Nice to have you.
Nice to be here.
And we had to wait for your applause. Yeah, before any line of questioning, we had to let the crowd acknowledge you. But we're talking about Sunday, the win over Georgia, and just you guys as coaches. I keep going back to the joy you probably felt for those 7 that had been fighting for so hard for so long. And is that what it is for you as a coach, that joy that you felt in that locker room after the win on Sunday?
Absolutely. I mean, again, every day they come in and they give us their best, and that's all we can ask for. And so for them to reap the rewards of the hard work that they've been putting in the off-season, the preseason, and now handling adversity well, it was good to see them celebrate each other and them have that joy that we felt for them.
Mm-hmm. And with Coach Taylor at Georgia, he came over here to Texas A&M. And what makes you want to be a part of this staff with Coach Taylor doing what she does and growing now this program over at A&M?
Yeah. So, honestly, the staff really is a family. I played for Coach Mosley in high school. I've known Coach Taylor for half my life.
She turned me down when I was an assistant at Louisiana Tech. So I started recruiting KG when she was in 10th grade. So however long that is. So, yeah, a long time.
I'm getting old.
I'm getting old, and so are you.
At some point, you were going to get her, though. You may have turned down her. Yeah, you kept persistent. Yeah.
She'll tell you that story.
What happened was I recruited her at LSU my senior year. So we had a year together at LSU, and then Meredith and I are from the same hometown. So I've been knowing Meredith since high school. So when I say it is a family, like I've known these people. I spend more time with them than my family. Mm-hmm. So that's what makes me want to be a part of just people that are genuine, honest, people you can trust.
Mm-hmm. What have you learned most about Texas A&M since arriving here, and maybe what you like about the community, the campus, and just this environment here in College Station, Texas?
I will say this, and I learned this from Christina. The Aggie love is real. I mean, it is something that has opened my eyes to what it means to be a former student, and take pride in that. And it's a testament to how many people move away but come back to retire. You show hands. So, yeah, anybody I've talked to is like, yeah, I graduated and, 72, and I went to Detroit and worked, but then we came back and we retired here. I was like, well, that's a love for the city, for the community. That's just a testament to Texas A&M and College Station.
Mm-hmm. And like you mentioned, played at LSU. You got to experience a Final Four in Tampa, 2008. Just knowing that you want these young ladies to experience the same, what do you tell them about the Final Four experience that you had as a player in 2008?
Oh, man. So I was a freshman, and I was on the scout team. Mm-hmm. But those practices were some of the hardest practices or anything, any games, any practice. So talking to them was just about the work that goes into it before you get to that stage. Mm-hmm. How my first day on campus, we had pickup. And, I mean, they were going at it. And you would have thought we were playing Tennessee that day. But it was us going against us. So that competition and then just them being able to push each other and want to push each other in that competitive spirit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Final Four in Tampa, you played Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. Don't remind me.
But I don't know if you realize you were that close to playing the Aggies in the national semifinal game in Tampa. They had Tennessee down in the Elite Eight game right before going to Tampa. Unfortunately, Candace Parker did her thing the rest of the way and knocked the Aggies out before getting to Tampa. But it was almost the Aggies that you were facing. But A&M, as a player in 2008 at LSU and up the ranks, I mean, A&M's kind of a program that a lot of folks would have their eye on.
Absolutely.
As you come up the ranks in collegiate basketball.
Yeah. And for me, just being from Alabama, just being in the South, I watched a lot of A&M, but I didn't know the rich history until later on in life, actually, when they won a national championship. But that's when I really started to notice and pay attention.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned you were a freshman on that 08 Final Four team, but you did go on to have over 700 points, over 500 career rebounds at LSU, and one of just 3 players in LSU history to register a triple-double in a game. So you weren't scout team for too long.
I know. Yeah. Well, the good part about it, everybody graduated, so they had to play somebody.
But you get the win on Sunday. Vanderbilt's up next. It's 2 on the road up next. What do you look forward to with this team as now you get that win under your belt, but also going away from Reed Arena and away from home for these next 2?
Yeah, just excited to see how we continue to grow and string it together game by game, practice by practice. We talked to them a lot this week about carryover. If this is the scouting report, how well can we carry that over into the game? A couple games ago, Alabama, we didn't do what we were supposed to do to start the game, and that trickled down throughout the rest of the game. So just challenging them to how consistent can we be? Okay, this is where the needle is. How do we continue to move it forward? And that's been our message the entire year.
Mm-hmm. All right, KG, before you go, we met with Coach Taylor before the year. We were talking about the staff, and she said, basically, you remind Coach Taylor of herself.
I'll take that.
Is that you confirm or deny that?
I'll confirm it.
Yeah. In what ways is this? The question really for both of you. You say KG's like you. In what ways are the similarities?
So when people ask me about Katherine, so much I can say, and the quickest thing I say is she's a mini version of me, right? She is wise beyond her years. She's a problem solver, and this is not me bragging on myself. I'm talking about KG. Okay, she's a problem solver. She's quick thinker. She is highly, highly competitive, smart, just knows how to figure things out and get things done. Speak softly and carry a big stick.
Yeah, there you go. So it is a compliment to you. There you go.
Yeah,
you'll take it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. No, it's when you go through the recruiting process. My mother was always big on who are your role models, right? And in this business, there's no better role model than Joni. And in life, there's no better role model than Joni. And so coming up, I always saw what I wanted to be in this profession, and who better than to model than coach.
All right. Great stuff. Thanks for joining us tonight right here at Rudy's Barbecue.
Thank you.
KG, assistant coach Katherine Graham. Appreciate her time. More with Coach Taylor on the other side of the break from Rudy's and from Lear Field. Welcome back to Rudy's Barbecue right here on Harvey Road in College Station. This is the Joni Taylor Show. Texas A&M will win over Georgia last Sunday, off to Nashville to take on Vanderbilt this Sunday. And, Coach, that means another trip to Memorial Gym in Nashville.
Yes.
One of the oddest coaching and team bench configurations in college basketball.
I'm telling you, who's been to Memorial Gym? Has anybody been at Vanderbilt? Oh, my goodness. So just to describe it, if I can borrow this sheet of paper. So this is the gym floor. Normally the benches are here. At Vanderbilt, the benches are on the baseline. And that's where we have to coach from. So, you always start shooting opposite your bench. So I'm standing here, and they're playing here. It is odd. During COVID, when we had to spread out, we were allowed to extend it to a little bit here. So now they made that permanent. So now at least I can walk the baseline, and I can walk a little bit here. But that's still challenging because if I'm standing here, then I can't hear my coaches. And if I'm standing here, then the players can't hear me. So it is quite the advantage, I would say, for a team who gets to practice in there every day. But, I did it as a player. I've done it now for a long time. We will go there. We travel, obviously, on Saturday. Normally we take a shoot-around on Sunday. We'll take that shoot-around, but we'll also get there Saturday night and just get some shots up in that gym because it is just a different playing space. We'll talk to them briefly. We're not going to make a big deal out of it, but we'll talk to them about where you got to go check in because you got to run all the way from here and then all the way to the sideline just to get checked in. So it is a little different.
Yeah, and for the radio audience that didn't see the sheet of paper you're using as the court, basically you can use some of the sideline, but that even can create its own disadvantages because basically your team is housed back behind the goal, back behind the baseline.
Correct. Correct. It also, I have to be really careful during this game because the referees stand right where you're standing, and so they hear everything, and sometimes they don't need to hear everything. So you also have to be pretty careful at what your bench is saying.
Exactly. So it's next 2 on the road, Vanderbilt on Sunday. Then it's at Florida. And, folks, the next home game is Sunday, February 5th, 1 o'clock. That is against LSU, and we have them to unveil here tonight. That's our Beat the Hell Out of Breast Cancer game, and we have the shirts for your viewing here tonight. And this game and these proceeds from this shirt that we will sell, they are in benefit of the K-Yow Cancer Fund as well as the Pink Alliance, a local nonprofit in the Brazos Valley. They serve as an advocate for breast cancer support. So 100% of the proceeds of these T-shirts will go to support the K-Yow Cancer Fund and the Pink Alliance. Now, you can get these at the game on Sunday, February 5th. You can get these online at the official website of Texas A&M Athletics, 12thman.com/BTHOBC. That's 12thman.com/BTHOBC. Saturday, the men are going to play Vanderbilt here at home. These T-shirts on sale at the men's game. So plenty of chances to – I'll try to display it out here in front, but I don't want it to fall off there or anything like that. But plenty of chances to get this shirt. The funds benefit just a fantastic cause, and this has been a movement for quite some time.
For quite some time. Obviously, K-Yow was a great ambassador for women's basketball, great coach at NC State, and – anytime we can also support her foundation and what the Pink Alliance does here, to just raise awareness for such a nasty, disease that we all can think of someone who, it has directly affected us in some way. I do want to say, too, that game is also going to be when we honor our seniors.
Yeah.
It is the last Sunday game we have at Reed Arena. We had a lot of home games on Sunday in January, but not so much in February. So we will also be honoring Mackenzie Green and Aaliyah Patty, as seniors for that February 5th game because it is the last Sunday game that we will have.
So plenty of reasons.
To
make it to Reed Arena the next time we're at home on February 5th. Also, all breast cancer survivors will receive free admission to the game on February 5th. And they will partake, if you would like to, in a halftime survivors walk. Beat the hell out of breast cancer and LSU on February 5th back at Reed Arena. We will be back to Rudy's Barbecue in just a bit for the Joni Taylor Show right here from Learfield. Good to have you back with us here at Rudy's. I'm Will Johnson, filling in for Steve Miller tonight on the Joni Taylor Show. Our thanks to Janiah Barker and assistant coach Katherine Graham, who joined us earlier. Sunday, it was the Aggies 75-73 over Georgia. This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by Texas A&M University. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of Texas A&M University, and Learfield announcers are provided by Learfield and Texas A&M. This Sunday, it's the Aggies at Vanderbilt. Then on Thursday, February 2nd, A&M is at Florida. Next home game, as we said, Sunday, February 5th, 1 o'clock, LSU is in town. It's the Beat the Hell Out of Breast Cancer game, and it is also Senior Day for the Aggies. Not everyone is a morning person yet, but with Costa Vita's new breakfast tacos, everyone will be. Try our bacon, egg, and cheese, or specialties like the machaca, beef and egg, or sweet pork, egg, and cheese. Stop by our drive-thru any day from 7 to 10:30 a.m. Order online through the Costa Vita app or website. Become a morning person at CostaVita.com. Back in a bit to close out the Joni Taylor Show with Coach on the other side of the break from Learfield. Going to take you to the top of the hour and close everything out on the Coach Joni Taylor Show right here from Rudy's Barbecue. on Harvey Road at Texas A&M at Vanderbilt Sunday. Here's the upcoming schedule. At Vanderbilt Sunday, then Thursday, February 2nd, the Aggies at Florida. And as we've talked about, the next home game, Sunday, February 5th, 1 o'clock, LSU is in town. It is the Beat the Hell Out of Breast Cancer game as well as Senior Day. For more information on all of that, log on to the official website of Texas A&M Athletics. That is 12thman.com. And Coach, you're using the slogan that we are becoming all season long. What's next in regards to what this program is becoming? As you win, then you kind of get your legs under you with no game on Thursday and then off to Nashville for the game on Sunday.
Yeah, I think, it goes back to what Katherine said. It's like taking the next step. How do we continue to move the needle? And so it's we've always talked about becoming consistent. And then after we're consistent, it's raising the bar. It's raising the bar. And so, again, those 7 that practiced, they got a lot of reps. They were able to learn a lot. And so now we talk about becoming rebounders, becoming scorers, becoming sisters, becoming leaders, becoming elite in how we handle our business. And so it's about we put those into little sections. And now can we put that all together? Can we put it all together and do all those things at the same time? And because you see flashes of one and flashes of another, but can we bring that all in, and then that's who we are every single day.
And, we're getting to that time. It's getting close to February, and I always say this to A&M fans, that you get about to mid-February on into mid-March, it's one of the best times in the world to be a fan of Aggie athletics, because you get all these sports that are going to overlap. I mean, you on a given weekend, let's just say Saturday, Sunday at Reed Arena, you could get a men's game Saturday, a women's game Sunday. You could get baseball at Bluebell Park, and get softball at Davis Diamond. Right across the street from all of it's the Mitchell Center. You could get men's tennis, women's tennis. It's almost a glorious time, mid-February to mid-March, where you, on a given weekend day, Saturday or Sunday, I mean, you could catch one game over here in the afternoon. You can catch one game here in the evening. That West Campus footprint of athletics is just so loaded up with everything. So, I would want to ask you, say, you win a basketball game and you get to go around and just go watch whatever other sport you would want. What sport would you pick? Just away from basketball to get to go enjoy, and the work is done, the hay's in the barn, so to speak.
Really every sport. I enjoy watching every sport. I tell you, got to go to a soccer game this fall. That was a lot of fun. Baseball is great. Softball is great. Obviously men's basketball. But really, I try to get to at least every sport. I enjoy track. I enjoy watching track and field as well. It's hard to do and get to all of that. But number one, you want to make sure that all of our student athletes understand that there's support, not only from their coaches and their staff, but from everyone. And I'm just going to be very honest too and say that as the only minority coach at Texas A&M, I also want to make sure that our other minority student athletes feel like they are available, that I'm available to them if they ever want to speak, say hi, or do anything. So most of the time that's in Slocum where we eat. I have more conversations there than I do anywhere else. But if there's an open game, then I'm normally just trying to figure out what makes sense, what can I take the girls to that they can enjoy and sit through and spend some time with them and catch another game at the same time.
Yeah. Got about a minute left, but Slocum has moved on us due to all the construction. Have you been up to the
I'm scared.
All-American North?
I haven't. I'm directionally challenged, and I just figured out how to get to Slocum, and now they moved it. So I've got to figure out how to get over there. But I hear it's great. I hear
nice.
The view is great. Our student athletes are okay with it. I'm going to get lost. I don't have time to get lost. I bet I got to get over there and check it out.
Feels like fine dining up there.
That's what I've been told.
I think you'll like it.
Yeah, that's what I've been told.
It's very nice.
We'll make a trip. We'll plan a trip to get over there. I can't go by myself, though, or I'll get lost.
All right. Have one of the players guide you up, and they'll get you there. All right. Sorry Steve couldn't make it, but thanks for letting me hang out tonight.
Well, thank you.
It was a great time. Thanks for all of you for being with us tonight from Rudy's Barbecue right here on Harvey Road. Once again, the Aggies at Vanderbilt Sunday. That's the next game, next home game, February 5th, 1 o'clock against LSU. And, again, for more information on the Beat the Hell Out of Breast Cancer game and Senior Day, log on to 12thman.com. All the information you need on Texas A&M athletics right there. For Joni Taylor, I'm Will Johnson saying so long, everybody. Have a great night. This is the Joni Taylor Radio Show from Learfield.